Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to the fourth episode of the Generous Gentleman. Wow. As you can tell, me and Lil Cuz, well, you can't tell this, but me and Lil Cuz went to the rodeo and I definitely got tore up from the flow up. So I'm doing one of those recoveries, drinking lots of water and remixing it with some more drink just to make sure that I can function properly tomorrow. Um, So I'm really working on making these episodes shorter. I already have episode 3 recorded, broken down, edited, modified, boom. I just forgot to upload it. So I'm dead ass gonna upload both of these at the same time. But I'm trying to make these shorter. Um, so I only have two real topics today. And the rest of the semantics will just kind of go into them. Because we all know I love to jump off of topics. Um, but two different things. We're doing do women really want the truth? And how hard is it to be the one that made it? So, off of a random picking, boom. Okay. So, do women really want the truth? Yeah, we just gonna get into the thick of it. Into the thick of it? Yeah. So, I'll tell you right now, I definitely think that women do want the truth. I'm not trying to be no pick me, none of that, but they definitely want, but above all, they definitely deserve the truth. Um, I personally have in adult years always led with the truth and giving somebody the opportunity to either say yes or no and appreciate it. It is what it is, and that's all it's gonna be. At the end of the day gonna end type shit. But I think women do want the truth. I think that sometimes they don't. Sometimes they want like they don't want you to lie, but they're really like hoping that you can make up a really good one to make her not feel as bad about whatever you did or whatever the situation is. Um, But I think above all, most of the 98% of the time, I think they want the truth. And it could be the truth about the relationship, the truth about the friendship, definitely the truth about the intentions. Women are one of the most like be intentional as creatures. Outside of dogs, want you to be intentional and feed them, give them treats, pet their belly, shit like that. But um, oh my God, y'all might take that and run with it because I said women and then dogs shortly after. I'm not calling women dogs. Let's get that off top before my sister comes in, you know, build something to kick my ass out of laundry detergent and some fucking Dawn soap for her nerdy ass. But I'll definitely say that women do want the truth above all. And I say that because for one, I was raised by women. Um, I've had a pretty decent success rate in getting them. And it's 90% of the time been because of the truth. It doesn't hurt how I look. But when you can look and talk, like granny would tell them that you're the devil or something. That's dead ass happened in my life. But uh I really think it's important. I've thought about that one for a whole week now. I didn't even answer it on last episode, as you'll see towards the end. If you make it to the fucking end, if you just go and skip, I can't blame you. Like work smarter, not harder. But I'll tell you that women do want the truth because people every day want to live in a lie. They try to avoid reality as much as possible. But when it comes to love, friendships, relationships, business, being truthful and intentional is something that women want 10 times out of fucking 6. Like that should be standard. I don't even really hang out with cats that still gotta lie to, get some buns or anything like that anymore. That's so corny. That's so low level player to me. That's not even player. That's some scumbag. Some rotten maggot trash scumbag activity. But above all, they deserve the truth. If you think about it in the aspect of like, how would you feel if your job just played around with you? Like if you was going to try to get a job and the owner told you like, yeah, I'd love to give you a job. Let's just make sure we're the right fit for each other. And they give you like that 60-day trial period where, at any point it's at will hire or fire. they just lead you on the whole time thinking that you're doing good, that you're the right fit, that, there's some things you can work on, but they going to help you get there. And then boom, right when you've got that, in this example, right when that business has got everything out of you, you took out all the trash, reorganized, did inventory, blah, 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 blah. And then they just can your dumb ass like, nah. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, you're not the right fit. Whereas they could have told you like, yeah, bro, at any point you could start this job and you could be doing great. And then I can just up and wake up that I'm not fucking with it. And you got to be willing to take that head on. It sucks. Like, I personally have only had that happen in the music business, but it doesn't necessarily feel good per se when, like, the truth hurts. The truth will set you free or piss you off. Sometimes both. But I'll definitely tell you that, like, I mean, if you really think about it, fellas, you can empathize with these women that um being lied to, like, nobody likes being lied to, bro. Deceit, denial, and being nefarious is a disease. Um, to the level of like being demonic. Like, you have to be a ill living motherfucker to do some shit like that. Like, I mean it. You really do. You have to be a sick individual. And I'll tell you, there was a time in my life where I was mentally ill, was selling a good ass dream. Mm, mm, mm. Selling a great motherfucking dream. And it never worked out. Never worked out. And like being truthful doesn't always help too. I've been stabbed in the back with a fork for being for being truthful. Only a few souls know about that story, and I'm gonna keep it like that to the day that I die. But no, but they deserve to have the truth. And there's so many proving points of why I know that they want the truth, because that's all women do is ask for it. Like, when a woman wants you to reassure them, it's not just to hear, like, it's not like she wants to be hyped up. She really wants to know if you really fuck with her like that. And I know that for sure because I have a terrible way of showing love. And that's a deeper conversation topic that we not gonna get into today. But they do really want the truth. If they didn't, they'll stop you before you answer. You know what? I don't even want to know. What you and Trey was doing last night? Y'all went to where? You know what, Roosevelt, before you answer that, take me out. Like, I don't forget I even asked. I don't even know why I asked some dumb shit like that, because now my mood fucked up for even thinking like that. They'll tell you that they really don't want the truth. And I have definitely told motherfuckers, like, be very careful what you ask me, because I'm going to tell you the truth. And one thing about me, it's one of my flaws, fellas, it's not player, but I have some really fucked up ways, some really messed up ways of telling somebody the truth. Like, there's ways I could have worded it where it wasn't as harsh. And I say it like I'm talking to, you know, a business partner, you know. Do you really like me for real? I mean, I do, but you keep asking that, and it's make me start to really question if I really do, because like, but really I should have said like, you know what, I really do, but are you asking because you're questioning, or are you asking because like you need that level of reassurance? Communication. I preach that communication tip like nobody's business. But they definitely do want the truth. I definitely want to hear some perspectives about that one though. Um, because there has been times in my life that I thought women didn't want the truth. Like, I used to take it personal that like, you asked for the motherfucking truth, and as soon as I gave it to you, now you feeling away. Just because it's the right thing to do and what she asked doesn't mean. That's one thing that I've had to learn in life, that I try to teach others, that you do not get to dictate how somebody processes and takes in something about you or any of that. We can talk about how petty it is or how lame it is that like, oh, she would judge me for my past, or with girls, oh, he would judge me for my past. And like, your truth is your truth. My advice to you is stand on that, because that's how you got to this point in life. You know, like, you you can be personally ashamed of some things, but you gotta let that go. Above all, though, like you cannot hold stuff against yourself because most of the time, like people aren't perceiving it or judging you because of it. And if they are, you shouldn't be fucking with them people no way. Like, take that message. Like, if somebody won't accept the real you, they don't deserve the real you. Don't be a fake you to please somebody. It never works out. Because eventually you're going to swerve back to being the real you after you figure out that this motherfucker probably really don't deserve you on that level. Relationship advice from Lingo Live himself. Uh, we might come back to that one. But this one, actually, this is a topic that I won't say get on my soapbox, but I want to clear the air with this one. These are like this is something that I personally was like, I'm gonna talk about this because not many people do. And anytime I have talked about it with somebody else that's like done some, some real shit, this is like one of the most emotional topics we probably really run through. And like it's tough for real, like, but how hard is it to be the one with a dream or a passion and you actually ended up succeeding? Dude, you talk about tough. It gives you, from certain backgrounds, it gives you a certain level of like, it's like survivor's guilt, you know? Because people think that it's like feeding energy into you, like positive energy by being like, man, out of everybody, yo, like, like I know you the young homie, but I look up to you because like you really doing your shit. Like you really did everything you said you was gonna do. And like these motherfuckers really can't fuck with you. Da, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, but for me personally and a couple other people that I've talked about it with, like that'll really, this shit will really sit on your head. Like, why me? That's a deeper level of conversation that you have with God, the universe, whatever you believe in, Buddha. Why me? What was different about me? You like this is it just what happened? I know it's not. It's what I've been praying on. It's what I've been grinding towards. It's a different level of sacrifice that I talked about in the previous episode. Go watch that one, episode 1. But it's a different level of sacrifice, determination, dedication. And people don't, if you ask me, for example, for $1,000 and I have it to give and I give it to you, I don't care if I'm a billionaire. Once I give you that money, do you know the level of stuff, like the level of shit? I'm trying not to curse too much because I want kids to be able to watch this. But to hell with them kids. Fuck them. Fuck them kids. That's how I feel about it. But um, do you know the level of shit people really got to go through on a day-to-day to get to this point? Because if you did, would you be so willingly asking me for money? Even if you have to swallow your pride, like, and I I don't think people swallow their pride as much as they think they do. People will abuse the shit out of somebody's kindness. And even if they don't take it as weakness, like they will abuse the hell out of your kindness until the point that like you turn somebody heart cold. And that's tough. You feel bad. Um, I felt so bad for being the one that is making it. And this shit can change any day. I know that. And if it does, like I know that that's God pushing me to a different level. Because every time I fall on my ass, I get back and I climb it. The grind. But I felt so bad for being the one succeeding. And it was out the kindness of my heart too, but bro, like I donated to single parents and teachers $4,500 cash. Boom. Didn't even use it as a tax write-off. Oh yeah. I donated $4,500 and to somebody who lives into a false reality about like, oh, that ain't nothing. Show me $4,500 that you have to spend on yourself right now. And I'm not flexing. I'm being a band with you. Let's call it. Yeah. Show me $4,500 and I'll let you tell me that that's just some little money. You know, $4,500 can do a lot for a lot of people. And that's why it was on my spirit. God put that on my spirit to give back. And he has kept it on my spirit. But at the same time, I know God has also shown me that I cannot overextend myself, stress myself, worry myself, or even be overly nice to people because some people are undeserving. Some people are in scenarios because they choose to be in those scenarios. And one thing I personally feel, and not like if I'm just donating, but if you ask me for some money, I'm going to tell you about yourself. And because you're taking my money, you're going to hear me out. You don't want to hear me out? Don't ask me for no fucking bread, you know? But, bro, it's survival's guilt. The same cats, you on that block with, the same cats you out there banging and hanging with, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that sounded crazy. Time out, Jack. Banging the set, you feel me? Them same cats, that didn't sound no better. What the hell? But anyways, them same cats, bro, when they get locked up, killed, whatever happens, there's a different level of survival's guilt where you're just like, why me? Even if you didn't live a unrighteous life, like, there's no sleep for the weary or the wicked, but the weary or the wicked, but it's hard to look at people that you thought you was gonna be on top with, and they at the same place or worse behind. It's hard, bro. And I don't judge nobody, but I also have started to live in my truth that most people had the same opportunities I did. We can go in semantics about I'm light skinned, I'm pretty, like you can talk like people just gravitate to you more. No. Like my life is a funny story about how I became this articulate. Um and all these other things that actually came from getting in trouble. But um it's hard because everybody gets the same 24. That's true, but it's also not true. Some people are born with a leg up, some people aren't. But for Christ's sakes, as long as you live it in that mind state that you can't be successful because you wasn't born into a rich family or you're not getting handouts or anything like that, like you're going to stay in that same place. Or even when you progress, you're going to do it at a slower rate than you could have exponentially grown just because you're letting this get in the way. This right here, and I still battle with this big motherfucker right here every day. Every day, bro. I still battle with that motherfucker every fucking day. Just off of the fact that, survivor's guilt. You battle with it because, like, am I doing enough? Am I mentoring enough? Am I devoting enough time? Am I speaking to family enough? Everything is a big question for me. And there's some cuckoo out there that says grand risings that's saying, oh, that's because you're an Aquarius with a rising Virgo. Whatever. But um I don't believe in that shit. I'm just gonna call it a spade now. Let me get it on the cast now. I don't believe in that shit. But um I do agree that some shit do be spot on. But man, there's a different level of hard time. So like for the young cats that like I'm letting you know now that old school game of like your friends now probably won't be your friends when you grow up. That's not always true because my brother, Bryson Armand Royal, aka Bryson Almond, that I used to call him, Bryson Almond Milk. That's been my brother since the dawn of time. But at the same time, that whole group of brothers that we had is damn near just me and bro from the sandbox, Jack. Damn near. But it can be lonely at the top, but it can be crowded at the bottom too. So, those young cats, as I was saying, you have to know that in this journey of success and righteousness, you gonna drop a lot of the luggage that you packed. You're gonna drop a lot of that off on that path. And you have to shed that weight or reassign that weight for you to successfully get to the points that you're looking to get. But when you can I set unrealistic goals every day, but you can set unrealistic goals. You can know the reality of those goals, but that don't mean that you can't shoot for them with whatever level of baggage, trauma, or whatever that you have. I'm just giving this game off of this is my story. And one thing I promised I would do this year and the years on was give as much game as I can to as many people as I can. And this is one of those sources that I can kind of, get straight to people that, God, the universe, Buddha, whatever. Like energies are going to make you cling to my stuff if it's what you should be hearing. That's my belief. I can have 2 views of 2 million, 2 billion. I don't care. Whoever like gets this information, who's ever actually listening and implementing this stuff, like I appreciate you, but also too, like actually believe in it. Don't just, but it's hard. You're gonna shed a lot of weight climbing to the top, bro. Because when I tell you it's a climb, and it's not just a straight up climb that's super high and man, it's a climb that rocks slip out as you're trying to get balance. It's a climb that sometimes you got to go left and right to avoid objects, obstacles. Like it is a climb that you have to put a blindfold on and walk/crawl climb with faith, Jack. It don't have to be religious faith, but I do encourage you to believe into something. We have to have something we believe in. Whether that's God, yourself, you should always believe in yourself. And if you believe in God, you followed a good book, you should know you're a version of God. But you have to believe in something to get somewhere. Cause you gotta have something that's in the back of that mind, like, nah, we still grinding. I'm gonna take that extra call. I'm gonna take that extra customer. You know, um, I was about to clock out, but let me help this, single mom with all these kids because she probably really did have a long day trying to get up here to reconnect her Wi-Fi. Be kind. I'll say that again. But it's a lonely road. And it doesn't have to be, but if you're gonna surround yourself with anything, surround yourself with love, patience, understanding, and great company. That don't matter if that's your blood cousin, people you adopt into your family. That don't matter, bro. Only surround yourself with people that support you as you support them. Everything else, leave to the circus, bro. These show monkeys and talkers, man, let them do it. Words ain't never stopped no hustler. Never. Never stop no hustler. They can throw obstacles in your way at times, but real shit is gonna prevail. Real hustlers stay on top regardless. And yes, I just put that chapstick on player than a motherfucker. I know you was thinking that. Wow, look at his lips. Thank you. Yeah, I'll hit one of them numbers for you again. But anyways, it's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard. I think that my journey to success, and I'm still setting goals and climbing. Like every time I accomplish a goal, I check one off and add another one. Cause there's always something to work on. There's always shadow work to do. Never think that you're above anything. But my journey, no matter how easy it might look, no matter how much you might think it's cap, my journey has tested every piece of mental space, heart, emotions, intelligence, and character that, man, there was times that I pulled a little level out of me that I didn't even know I had in me. There was times I didn't F people over when I knew I could have. And that sounds crazy to state, but like that really was like one of the signs to show me that I was energetically on a different level. Glory to God. But I'm climbing out of survival mode. And that's beautiful for real. That's something that will really make me sit up and cry or want to. I'm not against crying. Shit. Fuck you. You pussy. But I'm climbing out of survival mode, and that's learning a different version of myself. And one thing I've learned to remind myself is that I am a beautiful person. I have some messed up ways, but I'm beautiful in every way that I see fit and that God sees fit. And it's been a hard journey, but bro, man, I was just telling somebody this the other day. I haven't even made it, but like I'm doing all right for myself. But like real shit, when you get to making it, get to getting comfortable, bro, those memories and those stories of dreaming, like grinding, like dreaming about getting to this point, those are the ones you really sit up and cherish the most. I never let those emotions go away. I remember what it was like being broke, like on my ass, like really, really begging and praying to God to really just let me succeed. That I was willing to give over everything, ready to give my life to succeed. Cause I would have rather passed than to to pretty much live broke and broken. And there's different things that's gonna turn you up in life. But when you've and they might not even give you this a feeling or emotion. My family is very supportive. But what turned me up the most, man, was that my family did not raise me to be a loser or live in a loser mindset, a deteriorating lifestyle and mindset. You know, when you feel like you a burden to your family, bro, if that don't turn you up, nothing's going to. And a lot of men get there, even when they're not really being burdens, but we get there. And I know some men probably are like, that probably hit home. Probably hit home. Yeah, the muscles getting right on them boys. But anyways, that probably really hit home because until you really felt like a burden, actually, I'm not going to say it that way. But if you've hit that emotion of feeling like a burden, that's when that heart starts pumping. That's when fight or flight kicks in. I'm going to win or I'm going to sit down and lose. Me? I didn't sit down and lose. I stood up, took steps, took some steps back, took losses, but I stood up like a man because my mom, my grandparents, my stepdaddy, my daddy, in their own ways, raised me to be a man. That old school version of man, you know, a man that was accountable, honorable, did the right thing. And there's different things that's going to get you to this point before I go too far off topic. But yeah, it's hard in my perspective. It is very hard being the one with that dream that's like really getting it. People get envious, jealous. People say messed up things, but words don't break down no play us out because slugs not gangsters or businessmen. You know, fuck being a gangster. I'm a businessman. But it's really hard, man. I don't think people realize, like, have you ever, like, if you're emotionally intelligent, you ever sat on a FaceTime call or having a conversation with somebody? It's like visiting your old high school or like, visiting like the bar in a small town that you went to school at, or even, in the city where you went to school at. You run into, Billy Jack Bob, and all he's talking about is like, man, I'm so proud of you and da 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 da, like, da, 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 da. And you're like, yeah, fam, like, appreciate you, brother. Like, what you been up to? Well, oh man, I'm not gonna talk about me, bro. Like, I'm just living regular life. Like, you not worried about us regular guys. Like, no, that's not true. You're still a human being. You know? We all have our wins. What are you calculating as your wins? What are you considering your wins? But that's hard, bro, having to hear them stories. It's hard for those people that you said you was gonna win with to have to watch you win. And it's hard to have to make the decision that I can put you in place to earn your right to win, but I'm not gonna throw you in the mosh pit, because if I do, you're gonna get trampled. You dig? That's hard, bro. Hard. It's hard to have to not give or loan somebody money because they about to shoot it up or drink it up or party it up. It's hard. It's hard for me to say no. I'm getting better at it, but it's hard to say no. And I really just wanted you to know that. Like, I pray whoever's listening right now, whether you care or get to this point or not, but I pray success on you. I pray happiness, joy, excitement, exhilaration. I pray progress, understanding, patience, peace, liberty. I pray all those things on you. I pray when you get knocked down, you remember what it was like to stand up, and now you want to stand up higher and taller. I hope that when you get put in these positions, you're humble, kind, courteous, but above all, you're understanding enough that you're able to help. You're able to learn those guidelines and those lines that you don't cross when it comes to giving and overextending. I hope that you find yourself, that person in you that you always want to be, let go of who you are to get to that point. I hope all those things happen for you. If you want love in a family, to be a mom, to be a dad, I hope those things happen for you when they're supposed to. I hope that you understand that time is a man-made fallacy. Like, time is a construct made by man to help not be in fear of letting the day go by without having to calculate at what point something happened. I hope and pray that when you wake up, you know that you're loved and that you know how to accept and express your love and gratitude back. Everything you want to be, you can be, no matter what nobody says. We've heard of crazier stories, and if we hadn't, I want your story to be that craziest one. You deserve love, enjoyment, excitement, exhilaration, patience, understanding, a friend, a lover, a companion, a family. And if nobody's telling you that, play this shit back. I don't know. If nobody's telling you that, question what they are telling you. Is that feeding you or is that eating you? Because you need to calculate those things. I really hope at the end of the day, you remember who the fuck you are when others forgot, forget, or don't know yet. Remember who the fuck you are. Remember what you've overcome. Remember where you came from, because you need to remember where you came from to know where you're at and where you're going to be. You have to have them things, man. I pray life onto you, my sister and my brother. I pray that into you. I pray that every time somebody tries to hold you back or hold you down, you don't get back aggressively, physically. You don't build hate, negativity. I hope that you know that's part of your process, and words don't break you. Traumatic experiences don't break you. They're part of your story. When you look back on where you're at today, you're going to laugh about it. You're going to find joy in the memories. Today, you're going to start using every moment, minute, and second to be you, to live for you, and to let go of everything that you've been holding down and letting hold you down, that you've been holding against yourself. I pray that when you wake up and when you're about to go to bed, you start to speak on positive affirmations. 3 good things that happened today. 3 things you would like to work on. And it don't matter if every day is the same 3. But don't just be lazy and only say the same 3. If you really feel those 3 are still your highlight, do it. But I pray for you, my brother and my sister. I really do. We are living in troubling times. So many lost people. So many people chasing the dragon, looking in the rabbit holes that actually were the burrows of an alligator. Like, so many people are trying to use every minute to create a facade outside of the reality that they live in, because life is hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, and it's easier to live in a lie than to live in your truth. I'm gonna say that again. I don't think y'all heard that one. It is easier to live in a lie and a facade than it is to live in your truth. The truth is the separation between a lot of people and being that version of them they're looking to be. Face your reality. You don't have to like it. You don't have to love it. You don't have to hate it. But your reality is your reality. Know where you're from, where you're at, and where you're going to be. All 3 steps, from past, current, and future. Past, present, and future. All those 3 timelines are so important in your journey of stardom, success, love, happiness, excitement, joy, patience, liberty, understanding, identifying who you are. Those are so important. Hold on to those. They can never take this from you. Anything you learn, they can never take that from you. But they can discredit you. They can talk down on you. They can try to throw salt in the wound, salt in the lake, all that. But you're built different. You are different. They might not know it or might not acknowledge it. Give them a reason to. Make it to where you can't live outside the fact of knowing. You're going to do those things, my dear friend. You are going to do those things. And I swear on life itself, if you share them with me, I want to celebrate them with you. Whether it's in person, on the phone, through a text messages. When you win, or even when you lose, let's talk about them. Let's celebrate them for that 48 hours I told y'all about in episode 1. Let's celebrate them. Because they're so important, bro. You're so important to me, to the rest of the world. You're so important, and I want you to know that. Even if nobody's telling you, Your Uncle Lingo is. But no, real shit. Even if nobody's telling you, I hope you're telling yourself and believing yourself you are so important. You contribute to this thing we call life. This crazy motherfucking merry-go-round. You're contributing to that. And your importance is on a scale that cannot be explained. There is somebody who thinks the world of you. Please be the version of success you want to be, not only for that person looking up to you, but for that little kid inside of yourself that told you who you were going to be. It's been a great episode. I actually did really good. It's under an hour, under 45 minutes. But this is episode 4 of the Genuine, Generous Gentleman podcast. Thank you for sticking along today. Thank you for sticking along for these 4 episodes in this ride. If you're new, like, subscribe, comment, email to beatsforlingo@gmail.com or Bailey Street Music Group spelled out. Any questions, comments, things you need to talk about, I'm here for you. And again, if nobody's told you today, I love you. You're important. I hope to see you next time. I hope to hear from you again. And I hope you know that we love you here more than we could ever fathom you not being here with us. Good night, my friends. Have a great day.